Eideville realizes there's a break inside Saint-Domingue. There's a weak point. And the weak point was, so in the north, there was a mixed race guy, I stopped it, named Villette. And Villette didn't like Toussaint, and Villette was not a fan of black people either, which is a lot of self-hate. And so he wasn't sure he wanted to support this, slave emancipation. And he controlled the north. Toussaint didn't like him. There was another guy named Rigaud, who was also mixed race, but he and Toussaint got along great, and Rigaud didn't have those racist feelings. And so Toussaint had actually leveraged Rigaud into that position, and they took Villette out. But Eideville realizes that that's actually the weak spot for Saint-Domingue. It's the relationship between the black population and the mixed race population. So he starts working it. And he's playing this tough political game, and eventually he peels Rigaud off of the revolution, and it creates an event called the War in the South, or the Civil War. And Toussaint ends up having to fight this guy and fight his army. He defeats him, and he unifies Saint-Domingue in that moment. So think about that point where they finally unified Saint-Domingue. There's not two leaders, a mixed race and a black. There's just one leader now. He's the governor. So he starts the revolution fighting the French for the Spanish. He then defeats the Spanish. He then defeats the British. He then fights the Civil War. And he's won every step of the way. And every step of the way, on the other end, he shows mercy. Biassou and Jean-Francois, who stayed with the Spanish, when the Spanish surrender, they've lost their commissions. They moved to Florida. The soldiers that were fighting for him go to Toussaint, and they're like, what do we do? And he goes, you join me. And he brings them on board, officers and soldiers alike. He forgives all of them instantly. There's no punishment. There's no purging of the ranks. He just goes, yeah, everything's forgiven. His overseer, his name was Libertat, who ends up in the United States, he tells him, come back. The French government had said, if you're white and you left Saint-Domingue, you're a traitor. Don't come back. And it actually pits Toussaint off against Sonthonax, because Sonthonax discovers that Toussaint's trying to bring this emigre back. He's like, no, he's a traitor. And it's probably one of the reasons Toussaint took him out, because he wants those guys back, because he forgives everybody. He's like a habitual forgiver. He doesn't care what you did in the past. It's gone. Now is the time to build the future. That's his attitude. That's all he thinks about, is where is Saint-Domingue going to be in a few years? That's all he thinks about.